Slaves who became free after Congress passed the Confiscation Act of 1862 were called freedmen. The Confiscation Act of 1862 stated that Confederates who did not surrender within 60 days were to be punished by having their slaves freed. As troops advanced, slaves sought refuge in Union camps, and Federal commanders were confused over the obligations to the refugees. Some freed the slaves, others sent them back to their masters for lack of means to care for them. The Confiscation Act declared all slaves taking refuge behind the Union lines captives of war, who were to be set free. The act essentially paved the way for the emancipation proclamation and solved the immediate dilemma facing the Army concerning the status of slaves within its jurisdiction. Slaves also faced difficulties after becoming free. Many freedmen were homeless and had very few possessions. Many freedmen found contraband camps where they worked for loyal Unionist plantation owners for low wages. Some even rendered service to the Army. Some freedmen even returned back to their homes because of the miserable living conditions. In 1862, Northern Relief Societies began supplying freedmen with food and clothing that they had collected. They also eventually sent teachers to educate the freedmen. Yet many freedmen did not want white people teaching them because of their past experiences. So many freedmen chose to stay with their masters because they were assured food and shelter. In 1862, the Freedmen's Bureau was created. The Freedmen's Bureau helped freedmen with just about anything, such as resources or education. The next task for the government was figuring out how to make judicial systems fair for both blacks and whites. The Bureau began by establishing its own judicial authority, with local agents setting up temporary three-man courts to hear individual disputes between white employees who were dealing for the first time with black employees demanding fair wages. Introducing a system of free labor economy was another of the Bureau's responsibilities. The Bureau's goal in this respect was to return the ex-slaves to plantation labor, which was still essential for the Southern economy, but to do so under conditions that would allow blacks to work their way up and out of the labor classes. The Bureau also attempted to strengthen existing medical care facilities as well as expand services into rural areas through newly established clinics. Despite its accomplishments, the Freedmen's Bureau was also known to be a corrupt and often inefficient organization. In December 1865, the Radical Republicans in Congress managed to pass a strengthened Freedmen's Bureau Act, but were disappointed when President Andrew Johnson vetoed it. Life of a freedman oftentimes is remembered as a big step for the slaves, yet many freedmen found their living conditions too hard to live through and returned to their former masters.